All right, guys. So this is our last summer call. So fun doing this little summer series here on Monday night. So we will move to Thursday nights starting in September. What did I say? That first Thursday after Labor Day. What is that date? The 5th. Yes, first team call of the fall will be on Thursday the 5th. I'm going to keep it at 8 o'clock because I do know a lot of us get up pretty early to work out. So I think this is a good time. 8:30, I was always like, okay, guys, here I am. This extra half hour makes me a little more awake. I don't have to drink energized before the call. So I like this time, so I hope you guys like it too, but if not, we of course will record this. So a couple things I wanted us to kind of chat about tonight. I want to talk about recruiting for a couple minutes, and then I also want to just kind of talk about our plan for the fall. So one of the things, I don't know how to shut notifications off even when everything is turned off, just so you all know. So that's why you hear me dinging. All right. So recruiting. So that's kind of our first topic that I wanted to talk about tonight. And this is something I want to continue to talk about in Coach Basics and in all of our groups. This isn't just a tonight we're going to talk about this and not talk about it again, right? But I'm going to heavily focus on having a recruiting plan myself because I have set a goal for the team to get back up to elite status and be a 15-star diamond team. And so in order to do that, I have got to recruit a lot of new personally sponsored coaches back into my first business center. And I haven't put new coaches in my first business center in years. And to give you an idea of what that looks like, I still have 30 personally sponsored coaches sitting in my first business center from 9 years of recruiting in there, but I probably only heavily recruited in there for the first 5 years. And at one point there were maybe 40, 45. So I haven't lost a ton. So there's a lot to be said about building that first business center. There's going to be people that are always going to be with you from the very beginning, even if they are just at coach status. Maybe at one point they were diamond, but now they're coach. They were heavily invested in this at one point, and they're not going anywhere, right? Either way. So just to kind of share that piece with you. But anytime I am in a heavily recruiting mode, I guess I would say, I definitely want to find a constant 5 coaches a month coming in, but I need to up my game to get me into that mode. I'm always making sure signing up or helping a lot of new customers fall in love with the products and the programs and get results, because those are going to be the easiest people for you to invite to become coaches, right? These are the people that you see in your challenge group that are that are sharing, that are putting up motivational quotes, that are in that in our workout log every day. They're sharing their nutrition. They're just always there. And those are the people that you've got to pay attention to. And after, 30 days or so of them consistently doing that, it's time for you to go, okay, hey, so you're like pretty amazing at what we do as coaches. I'm not sure if you quite noticed, but thank you for being amazing in our challenge group. Have you ever thought about what I do? And so that's an easier business invite. It's very natural. It's very authentic. It's real. You're being truthful. That's one way that we can heavily focus on recruiting. But if you're not consistently hitting Success Club and signing up customers and discount coaches, there's nobody in that category for you to invite. Okay, so you've got to make sure you have a steady stream of customers coming in, even if you're just having customers coming in with a Beachbody On Demand membership to start or whatever, but you've got to have a consistent stream of customers coming in every month. And I would set that first goal at 5. And if you're already hitting that at 5, and I'm not saying 5 challenge packs, but 5 new customers a month. So if you're like 1 or 2 or 0 right now, then start at 5. If you're like 4 to 5 or 3 to 5 consistently every month, let's up that to 8. Okay. And so kind of just keep upping those numbers so that you can consistently bring in, and the ultimate goal will be to bring in 10 people a month as customers or discount coaches. So for me, I don't like to go any higher than that. I know you hear on the national wake up calls, people who hit Success Club 100. I can't even track 10 people. I forget about 10 people unless they're on a list in front of me, like on my whiteboard. And so I don't know how they do it. I'm assuming with assistance and help. But I that doesn't seem real enough to me. It's just not something I want to ever do. But I totally cheer you on if that is what you do, and I will get you on a team call so you can tell us how you do that. For sure. I will tell Sandy to put you on a national wake-up call because you've figured it out. But share us your secrets first. So 5 to start, you could say if you're at 0, let's do 3. If you're at 1 or 2, let's do 5. If you're at 3 to 4, let's do 8, okay? And then get it up to 10. And of course you can keep going, but let's just start with those numbers for now. And so in 3 months, ultimately, you have 15 people to invite to the business opportunity, right? And out of those 15, I would bet 3 to 5 are going to say yes, even if they just come in at the discount, because they're 15 invested people who are falling in love with the product, and they're in love, and they may say no for a little while, but they stay on that list of, okay, cool. For the ones who say no, say, okay, that's awesome. I get that it's not for everyone. Would you be willing to, and ask them to help you with something in the challenge group? Would you be able to post a Motivation Monday quote every Monday, just because I love all the graphics you find, or whatever? Take something that they're really good at and ask them to do it consistently as an assignment in your challenge group. So give them something to do. I would also say, hey, could I share a personal development book with you? We do this thing called personal development as coaches, and I think it's really good for customers to do it too. So if you get them into personal development and you give them an assignment to do, they're investing a little bit more into this. And maybe when you invite them again in 3 months, they're more apt to say yes. Okay? So that's your first group of people. Your second group of people are those people that you're scrolling Facebook or you're scrolling Instagram and you're like, ooh, yes, yes, I want them on this team. This is also a very simple invite to send. Business invites are actually easier for me to send than challenge group invites. It's because it's a very authentic to me to send someone a message and go, oh my gosh, I love following your feed, like your dog is so cute, or I love following. I'm going to give you a couple examples over the years. Kelly Smith had posted, she's a teacher, and she was posting all of these personal development books she was reading. And I was like, oh my God, who reads personal development other than us? I didn't think anybody else did, right? And so I reached out to her and I was like, oh my gosh, those books are amazing. I'm going to go pick that one up. Thank you so much for the recommendation. This is something we work on as coaches every day in our business. Have you ever thought about what I do? She signed up that night. So it was Cheryl O'Malley. I've shared this story before. I was only friends with her husband. He was Sean the mailman my entire life. My grandparents knew him, but I had never met Cheryl. And one night I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm friends with Sean the mailman's wife. And for whatever reason, I friended Sean the mailman's wife, okay? Cheryl. And I friended her, and within an hour, she had accepted, and she made a post going, oh my gosh, I don't want to go back to work tomorrow and have to leave my babies. This is so hard, traveling into Boston by the train every day, leaving at 6 a.m. and not coming home till 6 p.m. And I was like, whoa. I haven't formed with her. She has no idea who I am. I only know her husband, Sean the mailman. What do I do? Because I have an opportunity to change her life. What do I do? Right? Because this is something we don't teach you. We teach you to just get to know them first. But the message went something like this. Hey, Cheryl, I know you just accepted my friend request like an hour ago. So this is so weird and totally out of the blue. And I never do anything like this. But I know your husband, Sean, he's grew up knowing my grandparents, blah, 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 right? I said, so you can go ahead and ask him if he knows who I am so that you know that I'm not being a weirdo here. But I possibly have an opportunity that could change your life that would potentially, I don't know, maybe I didn't use change your life, but that could potentially have you home with your kids in the next 3 to 5 years. I don't know if this is something you'd be interested in chatting more about. Maybe go check with Sean. I don't know how to leave this because this is weird and I never do this. Like I was totally me, authentic, truthful. And I did have that little in of I know your husband type thing. So it wasn't like completely out of the blue. She came over the next day. I made her a shake. We chatted on the porch. She was signed up a week later. She lost 30 pounds in like our first 90 days. And she's home with her babies, right? So there's those people that either you're looking for something that they post that you're like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And you just go for it at some point. Like you're just like, you know what? Just go for it. Just go for it. What are they going to say? And talk in that way of, I never do this. I really, don't want to come across weird, whatever that, get that authentic feeling out and just say, but I have something pretty special that I would really like to share with you. And if you say no, that's totally okay too, because I get it. But here's what I would love to tell you more about. Okay. And the answer is going to be yes or no. And it's total, or they're going to ignore you and go, okay. Or they're going to block, unfriend, and delete you. And that's okay too. It doesn't, whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter because at least you tried, because we have this opportunity, right? And so there's those people that you follow that you're like, I really want to have them on the team. And you've already kind of connected with them. You say your happy birthdays to them. You like and you comment on all their stuff. But now it's time to just go in. And I always like to reference a recent post. I always like to say something about something that I saw. So it's not like, hey girl, because you know me, I don't do hey girl messages like ever, even when they were popular, right? But it's this message of, hey, I always see your posts. I always feel compelled to reach out, but I never know how to quite start the conversation and then start it, right? And so always come in with this, like, this is weird for me too, but here's how I'm going to do it, right? And so that's a really another way. And then your third way of recruiting is publicly inviting, right? Putting that invite out there in your stories once a week on your timelines, at least once a week on your news feed of Instagram, but maybe twice a week on your Instagram stories or your Facebook stories, just saying just something, something. I think Marcy made a post the other day saying, I just went school shopping for the kids and for the first time used cash because of my side gig, right? And so just kind of sharing those little tidbits. Hey, and we have one of the things you always want to use is we have a new coach mentorship starting in whatever the first Monday of the month is. We won't do it this first Monday of the month because that's Labor Day, but the following one, we have a new coach mentorship starting on September 9th. And, I would really love to help a couple of people get started or something. So in the public invite, kind of make that sense of urgency because there's a new coach mentorship starting on September 9th. So we've got to get you in type thing. So those are the three ways that I recruit. And sometimes it's also, just friends and family, like people that are just around that you do, hey, I know that, you're home. Are you looking to make any extra money and just meet for coffee? A great way to sign up coaches that are local to you is if you can meet them for coffee and just kind of chat. Even for a challenge pack, like it's great to really get in person with somebody. if you can. So those are my recruiting tips, and I'm looking forward to using those tips myself again to get back in the recruiting game, because it is fun, and I do have more fun, and this business is fun. And although I love helping people with their health and fitness for sure, because that's what we're all about, I really love helping people be successful in this business. So any questions or anything to add on that? All right. So does that sound doable? Did that come across a little like, okay, actually this doesn't seem too hard? Yeah. Yeah. Cause you just got to be yourself. You don't ever want it to be not you. One of the things I wanted to, so Mark and I were talking, so Mark and I have been really, I'm like, one of the reasons I can't wait for the girls to go back to school so that we can start talking again and we can start like strategizing about the business, without mom, happening from across the house. But we started talking a little bit today. So I was just telling Rebecca, he came up with this idea today. So I love that we're using, this is kind of going along with this too. So Melissa Hadley had said on the National Wake Up Call that she did the contest of buy something that you've never tried before, right? And we have that contest going. I mean, that Saturday morning that I posted it, there were like 6, 7, 8 people ordering. I was like, oh my gosh. And you know what? They ordered everything or things on that graphic. And so Mark and I got talking. He's like, yes, because people need to be told what to do. And it's like they need a direct, like nobody went off that graphic and ordered anything different. Like it was everything that we suggested right there. And so next month I'll do one with, have Rebecca help me make another one, with 7 or 8 other products, right? Like, because they just need to be told what to do. So Mark was like, he started brainstorming, and I just let him go when he gets all creative, because I'll sit there and I'll say, hey Mark, could you go run an ad? Or hey Mark, could you go put this blog together? And if he doesn't feel it, like it doesn't get done. Like he has to be in this creative mode. And I'm like, I sometimes have to wait for this creative mode to hit. I don't know when it's going to hit. And then he's like, all right, what do you got for me? I'm like, what? I don't know. Whatever I've been asking you to do for the past 6 months. You have a list somewhere? Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm a planner. And he's just like, I'm creative. What do you need from me? And I'm like, So he got creative, and he was like, what if I come up with, he's like, Beachbody really needs to do this, but I'm going to look into this. And he spent his entire day today and did it. He was like, what if we do like a virtual catalog with the top 10 things that people order or whatever. It was called like Flippa something. I don't know. He found a program, and so it was all, the template was there, and he put like Morning Meltdown, Lift 4, 21-Day Fix, an 80-Day Obsession. He asked me which programs. I was like, okay, let's do those 4. And so he did those 4 like through the first 4 pages, and he grabbed, from our social media, from our online office, he grabbed paragraphs and just pasted them in. And then he put like a buy button, because the other thing we were talking about is, okay, so I feel like I'm in this crossroad of like, what do people want to do right now on social media, right? It seems like people would rather just click the buy button and not talk to us. They don't want to tell us their goals. They don't want to tell us right? That's how it was years ago, but it's not like that anymore. However, I can't seem to get anybody to click the button and just buy something either. So I'm like, what are people doing? So he's like, maybe this will work. So he made it. I was like, I don't know if you can do this, but he did. He clicked the buy it button, and it takes them to the whole sales page of Lift 4 in our Team Beachbody thing. So all of the challenge packs and stuff are there. So, and because instead, like, I don't know about you guys, but all the time people will say to me, well, can you just send me something? And I'm like, how do I do that? I can't just send you something. There's 40 programs. I've got to know what you want to do. Right? So now I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, here. I can kind of send you something. So he did 4 of those. He did 2 like nutrition programs. He did 2B Mindset. He added this like button that said Nicole's Pick. I don't know what he was doing. Spent all day. He was like, leave me alone. So he did that, and now I don't know how I'm going to use it because I didn't know this morning when I woke up that this was something Mark was about to create. So like I'm only sharing it with you guys because I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing with this thing yet. So I don't want to like put it out there because I don't know if it's going to work. Like I'm just like, here, I don't know. And then it has a supplement section, it has a Shakeology section. And so one of my thoughts here tonight when I was like, okay, we're going to start building our plan for the fall was like, we've got to get in that mindset of people need to be told exactly what to do. So when you do talk to someone and you're like, my recommendation is the 21-day fix, they're like, okay, and they buy it, right? Because they're like trusting you, because it's really hard to send them to a whole place for them to go, what? Where do I even go now? Or if you just say, okay, I have people buy Beachbody on demand, and then I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? Now we have to talk about what your first program is going to be. It's like, I don't want you to just buy this and then not have a plan, right? So, yes, Rebecca, I was going to do that. I did say to Mark, let's put this as a blog or something. I don't know. I was like, I don't know. Like, I literally was like, this is awesome, but I don't know what to do with it right now. But yeah. So yeah, like Renee, this brought it up too, when you had said today in the business activity tracker, you were like, someone bought something from someone else because they had a swipe up feature or whatever, or right, like, and I don't have enough followers to have a swipe up feature, or I don't do enough IGTV or whatever the rules are for me to have a swipe up. I don't, me and Instagram, but like, I'm like, okay, so, because honestly, if Amy Silverman is hitting 150 Success Club points a month, she's not asking everybody their goals personally. Like, of course she's not. So like, it's either a form or or they're just buying, and then she messages them. Like, so yeah, I'm all for like figuring this thing out together as a team too. Yeah. It is. It's easier to just click a button. Like for me with anything, like to just go on Amazon and choose a book. Like I don't type in personal development suggestions and then read through a list to decide which book I'm going to read. Like someone has told me about it and I go and I buy it. But it's so hard in this business to do that, because they're going to go to the website and the first thing is a mega challenge pack for $260. And if they don't keep going, they're going to be like, screw that, I'm not spending $260. And then if they come back to me and they say something like, oh, it was $260, I'm like, wait, no, you had 6 options or 8 options, So it's like such a hard thing to do. Like I almost was like, when he was like, what do you want, where do you want them to go when they click the buy button? I'm like, I don't know, do we just do the base kit? Like I don't know, but I don't want to not tell them about Shakeology, but I'm like, I don't know. So I'm still trying to figure this out anyway. But if we can start just taking that approach through our social media, like, here's what, because right, people, if you're posting about MM100, people are going, hey, I want to learn about MM100, right? If you're posting about your portion control containers, hey, I want to learn about portion control containers. Like that's why launches work so well. But we've got to figure out how to be so successful in non-launch months too. Okay, so Rebecca gives all 3 options on the blog. Cool. So yeah, we've got to just kind of get in this mode of just directing people where to go for sure on how to do it, because I find that some people don't want to talk to us. They don't want to, like if I send someone who I barely know and I'm like, all right, the first thing I want to talk about is what your goals are, it's like crickets. I'm like, or here's my website. Here's a blog post about MM100, because I'm like, because I don't hear from them for like an hour, and I'm like, shit, did I just screw up? So then I'm like, So now, yeah. So now that's why we did get more consistent on my blogs, because now I can go send them the MM100 blog or the UPF blog, or, cause it's just an easier place for them to go look. And then I do have links at the bottom of that as well. Or I have fill out, ask me a question here, and what's your name and your email or whatever. We're working on a form too. This is what's been on my list for a month with Mark. So Mark came up with this amazing form that he does for all his Disney clients. And I'm like, I want one of those. Like, what did you say? Can I have one of those? Because I don't like I get the whole Linktree thing, but it's like, we always have to change it. Like, I'm like, can I just have one form where they just, are they interested in fitness or nutrition or the business or all of the above? Like, I just want to find out what their interest is at, and not just only say, click on my link to get into my MM100 group, or to click in my, I don't know. I'm all over the place. I know. Yes, Tracy. Yeah, that would be nice. Maybe I'll put that in the suggestion box. So Tracy's saying she wishes she could send a share a cart and have like the free workout there. And then at least that they could purchase from there, kind of take it to that next level. Yeah. Yes, exactly, Stephanie. They don't want to be sold to, but they also don't want to answer personal questions. I know. It's tricky in our business, because we do have to know what their goals are and what they currently, we can't suggest 22-minute hardcore if they just had surgery. It's like, we're like, you've got to talk to us a little. We don't know what to do. So yeah. So Rebecca's is easy. RebeccaMiller.com, RebeccaAMiller.com. Mine's NicoleLJones.com. So what got me blogging again is, I think I told you guys this, is I hired someone that I went to high school with who always corrects my grammar on Facebook. So I was like, she's always correcting everybody's grammar. And I'm like, you know what, Braylon, we're going to put you to use. we're gonna put you to use. And so I had asked Mark, I was like, can I just pay her $20 a blog to edit it? Like, so literally I just type all of my feelings, like I'm talking to you right now, like with all my grammar messed up, with my Boston accent, everything comes out. And then she just fixes it and makes it all pretty. And she uploads it even, because then I would send it to Mark and be like, oh, can you upload this? And then I was like, do, 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 do. He's like, I hate doing this. And I'm like, I do too. So we hired Raylan for $20 a blog, and now she does all red marks that come back across the whole thing, and then she uploads it, and then we just approve it. So it's working. You got to know your strengths for sure. So I know we have the Ultimate Portion Fix Family Fix working. So if you guys are like all in on that, if you could take the initiative this week while I'm at Disney and help Nicole are doing it, and Tracy and Stephanie have already started chatting. If you could just take the initiative and start posting in the group, you can do some in the event too. So the event is like a sneak peek, like giving them a teaser. Like, so Nicole has done a couple teaser recipe videos. I've done a couple teaser posts. And then I've also tried to be like, but you do have to purchase something, so I've started putting that stuff in there. But if you can go back also so if you can post in there, but then also to I changed our name to Team Passion Ultimate Portion Fix Back to School Plan. I changed the group name. So if you can just start getting people alive in there again, because I love the idea of using that group for the fitness, the nutrition piece, and then transitioning them to, he likes to be on camera, you said. Transitioning them to like our Fit Tribe group for the fitness piece, but taking, that control in that in that UPF group for the nutrition piece too. So while I'm at Disney, if you can just start, hey, we're getting ready, we're gearing up, prepping for back to school, whatever, you guys know what to do. Just giving those little teasers, what you're finding. You went back to the family fix section. I know I'm going to go back to the meal prepping section so that I'm not, like, what I'm going to do is I think I shared this, I'm going to start with dinner each day. Like, okay, Mark, what do you want to cook tonight? And then backtrack my containers, kind of reverse engineer those, because I find that I just eat, and then all of a sudden at dinner, Mark's like, oh, I'm making the Fix8 lasagna that has 2.5 yellows. And I'm like, I've already had 2.5 yellows. Great. So now I'm like, and why isn't the scale moving? So I need to, and she shared that. She plans that out in one of the meal prepping videos. I was like, okay, that's what I need to do. I need to start with dinner, and then I can come back, because the rest of the stuff I'm more in control of. So I'm going to start doing that more. But then it's also hard, because then it'll be like 3:00 and he had the recipe out, and he's like, oh, this is going to take an hour and a half, and we have to leave for dance. And then he changes it, and we have easy pizza. And there's, again, 3 carbs. I'm like, no, or 2 yellows that I already had. So we've got to plan that a little bit better. I'm going to make him cook what he says he's going to cook in the morning. I don't care if you're not ready for it at 5:00. I'm like in charge of making sure he like just has the recipe, and then I have to make sure, did we take the chicken out of the freezer? Did we, like, I'm like in charge of all of that, because then all of a sudden he's like, and I'm like, he does hate when Autumn, on some of the recipes, when she doesn't share, like, so it'll say prep time 20 minutes, cook time 20 minutes, but then you're like, wait, Grandma's tomato sauce is in this one, which is an hour, right? So he's like, oh, why did she do this? I'm like, well, you're supposed to plan a little bit better. So I have to start taking that to the next level too, and be like, oh wait, this one has another hour of prep work that you're supposed to do. This is a whole nother recipe, but we will figure it out. So that's kind of my plan for the start of the fall. I know we're all going to be like, if we don't have kids going to school, we're teachers, or we're just getting in that groove. So I think those first 3, like from 8:26 to 9:15, is going to be like just doing our best and treading above water, which I think will be good for us, because we'll be just as busy as everybody else in the group, and showing that, yeah, this is crazy, right? And so that'll be good. I'm looking forward to sharing, like, on Mondays and Tuesdays when I leave the house at 2:30 and I don't get home till 8:30. Like, how did I eat during that time? And I'm looking for you to help me how to eat. No, but I think I'm going to like, I can eat the Fix8 chicken and broccoli mac and cheese cold. Like, that's one of the meal. Like, so I'm going to start thinking about stuff like that. Well, that's something I could eat cold. And actually, at the dance studio, they do let me use their microwave sometimes too. So I'll just be like, can I microwave this? But just kind of coming up with different ideas, or using, like Nicole did today with her chili recipe, putting it in a thermos. She said thermostat in the video. She said, put it in the thermostat. And then when she posted the video, she's like, I mean thermos. When I say thermostat, I mean thermos. But yeah, so I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I could totally take, like, turkey chili to the dance studio in a thermos. So just kind of different ideas. So cool. You guys are chatting. Oh, the enchiladas. Those were good yesterday. Mark made those yesterday. He was like, we each get 2. I'm like, what? Those, like, took up my whole, I couldn't even, they were huge, so huge. I think I ate 1. Like, I cut them both up and ate from both of them, but I definitely, there was a lot left on my plate. I was like, wow, that was a lot. Yeah, cool. So I think we can figure that out together. So we have that. The MM100 we'll just keep going with, obviously. And then I guess I didn't realize at Summit that the work is happening while we're still doing 100. I thought it was after. And then I'm like, wait, I'm like counting up. I'm like, wait, it's already August 19th and that comes out 9:30 and I'm on day 20 something. I know I'm not good at math, but wait. So we'll have to figure kind of, because I definitely want to try that. Mark's like, you can't do that. I'm like, I love when he tells me that. And he knows that. So I'm looking forward to him telling me that I can't get to 15 star, which he will do, because I'm like, watch me. But yeah, so I am looking forward to doing the work. I don't even know. Like, I don't know what that one-legged burpee was, but I did it, sort of. We just figure it out, right? Yeah. All right, cool. So that's kind of the plan as we start for the fall, is focusing on that UPF, sharing MM100 stuff, getting we'll get people ready for October 1st for that, when that just launches on demand. Is that that when it launches on demand, October 1st? Probably. I think so. Today's National Wake Up Call was really good. It was very simple. It's very simple. So I definitely recommend you make the time for that one this week, because she was like, it was very simplified, which I liked. And she talked a lot about she showed like a public invite that she did like a year ago when she first started her business, and how just it wasn't perfect, didn't need to be, but she needed to force herself just to take action. So, I mean, it's definitely all stuff you've heard. It's going to be familiar, but I like for you to hear it from other people too, so that I'm not crazy. All right, cool. Anything else you guys want to chat about? Does anyone want to volunteer to do the business activity tracker for me while I'm in Disney, so I don't forget? Like, copy and paste it and just change those few numbers, and then okay, cool. All right, Rebecca and Becky, you can chat that out and figure out which days you want to do. So basically, I just copy and paste that whole thing, but feel free to switch it up if you want to. And I just changed the date of what day we're on of the year, and the date. So cool. So I leave Wednesday morning at 4 a.m. So I'll need you to start that Wednesday, because I don't think I'll be opening my computer before I leave this house. Mark's like, because I told him I doubled up today. I'm like, I'm going to double up today. Instead of doubling up with Total Body Badass, I doubled up with Core Inferno and Upbeat Strength. I was like, okay, I'm going to double up on those. And he was like, wait, you're not getting up at 3 to do your workout before we leave at 3:30? I'm like, yeah, no, not that crazy. So cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. I don't know. I'm excited about this fall, about this back to school, about MM100, about all of it. I think we're in a really good groove with the team. There's probably us and then maybe about 10 others that are just really connected and really kind of feeding off of each other's energy and doing all the groups together, making sure you're in the business activity tracker. So it's good. I know some people listen to this on the recording, so thank you. But I think we're totally in sync, and just kind of, I can leave on Wednesday and know confidently that all groups will be handled, and I don't have to worry about making sure I'm commenting on everybody's stuff and making, you guys all got that. So thank you for that. All right, guys, have a great night, and we will catch you on these calls in a couple weeks on a Thursday. All right, good night, guys.